I think it all just filters down to this authoritarian mindset. And it's getting really scary. I mean, our democracy, if people don't, wake up and smell the roses here, we're going to have a big problem in the next couple of years, depending on how these different court cases turn out. And even worldwide, even like there's countries now that are taking that lead. For example, India. And Mohammed, I know you know a lot about this subject. But, I mean, it's crazy. It's the world's becoming a very scary place.
Well, let's talk about India. You said that I know a lot about India. Of course, I know a lot about India. I came from India, but the India that I came from is not the India that is there any longer. The Modi government in India now has become an extreme right-winger's dream out there. So if you speak up against anything that is happening against Prime Minister Modi, man, you are up for some real trouble. A couple of months back, we heard about what happened with the Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau talking about an assassination plot on a Canadian citizen in Canada by the Indian government. And the guy was assassinated. It was not just a plot. And the Indian government turned around and said, oh, show us the proof. Now, here's what happened 2 days back, folks. The Indian government now has been caught with their tail in a crack. They were trying to assassinate a U.S. citizen in New York. And this entire thing started happening in May of this year. And in June, remember, the Indian Prime Minister was being hosted by the White House as this on a state visit, right? Mm-hmm. So May 1st, there's this Indian guy who's a gun runner, drug runner, and everything called Nikhil Gupta, who was in communication with, and this is all coming out in an indictment by the US Department of Justice. And in May, they started communicating, this Nikhil Gupta and an Indian government agent based in New Delhi, mm-hmm. Asking for someone to be assassinated in New York. And the guy said, oh, yeah, sure, we can take care of it. We do this all the time. And
it's part of the business model.
It's part of the business model. So Nikhil Gupta now, guys, turns around and tells his Indian connection, I got a connection that I can, put a contract with. And the deal is stuck. They pay $15,000 as a down payment for this murder to be done. And this $15,000 are paid to the supposed assassin now in his car. And that supposed assassin was an FBI informant.
Oh, my God.
Okay. Oh, goodness. But this is what happens now. I mean, this is what was the Keystone Cops? So Keystone Cops in action now,
Keystone
folks.
Keystone criminals, maybe. This is where we were talking about this, that Putin has people murdered for political reasons, or just they're troubling to him, and now it becomes, well, that's okay to do internationally. And we even saw with Trump some of the pardons that came out that Trump allowed in there are 140 last day pardons. They're finally getting through some of these. One of the guys is a loan shark that was the college roommate to Jared Kushner. This guy just has a rap sheet longer than my arm. He's a loan shark. He gets a pardon. He goes back to loan sharking. So when the highest levels of government are acting this way brazenly,
absolutely.
Maybe it makes the FBI's job a little bit easier, because these guys, they just get so like Santos, they're so brazen about it. They tell you what they're going to do, and it's just a matter of just trying to corral them up and put those guys behind bars.
On that note, it's really scary what Trump said he's going to do if he gets reelected.
Well, that's, yeah.
I mean, I wanted to write down, and he had 5, 6 talking points, which is completely antithetical to our democracy. It's just it's
He's going
scary.
to go after judges. He's going to go after NBC. He's going to go after any news reporter.
Well,
I mean,
he might probably go after me also because I keep calling him the devil's advocate.
Yeah, there's a list somewhere. We may not be in the top 100, but I think we're somewhere on that list.
Okay, folks, you're listening into the Lightning Strike on WCPT, AM 820, Chicago's progressive talk radio station. I'm your host, Mohammed Fahim.